In this lesson, we're going to be talking about nutrition. Now, we could go on, people spend their whole lives studying nutrition, so we're not going to cover it all today. So sometimes scientists will think that one thing's true, and then find out later that they were wrong, or maybe even caused problems with it, especially when we talk about food. One example of that is back when I was a kid, they used to say that fat was bad, which is really silly because we are actually made of a lot of fat. Every cell in our body has a lot of fat in it. Our tears have fat in them. Our hormones are made out of fat. There's so many things in our body that have fat in them. The bigger problem though, because people usually still got enough fat to be safe, to be able to make their body. But the bigger problem is you have to eat something. And so if people weren't eating fat, then they started eating a lot of sugar. The problem with sugar is that it's not good for you actually, not straight up pure sugar. Now, carbohydrates, which have sugar in them and break down into sugar, are good for you. That's things like fruits and vegetables. But a candy bar or a soda or a glass of juice like apple juice or orange juice, those are just straight up sugar. And they just go in your body, your blood sugar shoots up, and then it flies back down again. That's not good for your body. It turns out that it's your total diet, everything you eat, that's important, not just one particular food. So eating an egg can be good for you, or it can be bad for you. Isn't that confusing? It's all about the total meal and the total diet and how you eat. What's the total thing that everyone's eating? So with that little intro, let's talk about some details of how we look at what people are eating. Most of the time, we're going to talk about macronutrients and micronutrients. So micro, like microscope, means little stuff, right? Macro means big stuff. So macronutrients are the big nutrients. A nutrient is just stuff your body needs in order to be healthy and grow. What happened is that first scientists figured out that you need protein, fat, and carbohydrates. How do you cook your meat? If somebody grills it so it's black, well, that black stuff on the outside can actually not be good for you. Or if someone has something called trans fats, those are really bad for you. So trans fats are something that scientists make where they take a normal plant fat and they do something weird to it chemically, and it actually makes it bad for your heart and your blood vessels. So that's something that thankfully is illegal in most countries now. So when you have these different kinds of fats, you need them all over your body. You use them to make your cells, your hormones, your tears, all over your body you need fat. So here I have the water, here I have the fat. Now watch, when I pour it on top, look how it just floated back up to the top there. So that's because the fat and the water don't mix with each other. Now let's talk about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are foods that break down into sugar. So that sounds kind of weird, right? Like sugar is not supposed to be all that good for you. Well, it depends on how you get it. When you eat something with carbohydrates in it, your body breaks it into blood sugar or other sugars that you use in your body. That's good. The problem is if you get a big burst of sugar at once, your body can't handle that. It's just a big explosion in your body. The more fiber that's packed with your sugar, the better it is. Fiber is like a sponge. Think about a sponge in the kitchen. You can't really digest that, right? Now, of course, you shouldn't eat a sponge, but that's kind of what fiber is like. It soaks up water, and it can also soak up yucky things that maybe aren't good for you, so you can just poop them out. So fiber in your food, besides being good for your poop, also slows down how quickly that sugar comes out of your food. If you eat the same food all the time, it's not going to necessarily have all the vitamins and minerals, all the micronutrients that you need in order to be healthy. Macronutrients, those are easy. Micronutrients get a little bit trickier. Now let's talk about what each of these different vitamins does for you, because they're all important. Let's start with vitamin A. Vitamin A is in things like carrots and sweet potatoes, orange foods, and other stuff too. Vitamin A is made in your liver from beta carotene, which is in carrots. Your carotene. So you may have heard the joke, how do you know that carrots are good for your eyes? Because bunnies don't wear glasses. And of course, that's not entirely true because, of course, bunnies wouldn't wear glasses even if they couldn't see. Bunnies actually do have pretty good eyesight for far away, so they don't get eaten by foxes, but they probably couldn't read very well up close. So they probably would actually need glasses, is my understanding. I'm a human doctor, though, and not a bunny doctor, so I can't tell you for sure. Anyhow, carrots are good for your eyes, but eating a whole lot of carrots isn't actually going to make your vision any better. Actually, if you don't get enough vitamin A, that's bad for your eyes. But once you get enough, having a whole lot extra isn't actually going to help very much. And there's lots of other important stuff for your eyes too. So eating lots of dark leafy greens like spinach and getting plenty of vitamin K, eating egg yolks and vitamin E, eating all sorts of other foods is also really important for your eyes. In fact, there's good research that having a good variety of these different vitamins helps prevent problems with your vision when you get older. So that's one reason it's important to eat lots of fruits and vegetables. Yes, carrots are good for your eyes, but so are all the rest of them. And eating a whole lot extra isn't going to make your vision any better. I mean, if it did, I wouldn't need my glasses because I eat lots of fruits and vegetables, and it hasn't really helped me very much. But it will prevent me from having vision problems later as I get older. And it's also just good for my body. The B vitamins do lots and lots of things because there's lots and lots of them. So we'll need a whole separate lesson just to talk about those someday. Vitamin C is really important for a lot of things in your body. So I want you to imagine a pirate, like in a story, not a real pirate, but actually a real pirate too. But think about a pirate in a story who has a patch over one eye and sores on their skin and a peg leg and an arm in a sling. So that pirate is a good picture in your head of what vitamin C does for you. Vitamin C is really important for your immune system, so fighting off all those nasty infections that make the pirate look kind of yucky. It's really important for your eyes and your vision. It's really important for your bones and for your skin. If you don't get vitamin C, now remember, vitamin C is a water-soluble vitamin, so you just pee it out. If you go a whole month without eating any vitamin C, you kind of start falling apart. And you can actually die from that. It's called scurvy. Some people think that what got rid of pirates wasn't other people getting rid of them and being able to make pirates stop. It was actually running out of vitamin C and them dying of scurvy. Because scurvy is a terrible thing. It happens really quickly. You can't go like 6 months and be okay, because remember, you are always peeing off that vitamin C. And so people would get really sick and they'd get these nasty sores and their bones would break and it would just be awful. So that's why it's important to get enough vitamin C. The good news is it doesn't take very much. That's why it was so easy once they figured it out for them to keep sailors safe by just having a few things with vitamin C in them. It's really hard to get scurvy if you just eat some fruits and vegetables of some sort. It doesn't have to be oranges and lemons. Most fruits and vegetables have enough vitamin C to keep you from getting scurvy. Vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, remember, and that's one that you can get from sunshine, but to get enough from sunshine in some climates or with some skin colors, you can actually end up with skin cancer. So some people need to take a pill of vitamin D because it can be hard to get enough in your diet. So oddly enough, here I am talking all about how important it is for food. And here I'm talking about, well, maybe you need a vitamin in this case. So a lot of people do end up taking vitamin D, especially in cloudy places where they don't get much sunshine, or people like me who sunburn if I'm outside for more than about 15 minutes without my skin covered. So it can be hard to get enough vitamin D. Vitamin D is really important for your bones. We want strong bones and teeth so they'll last us for the whole rest of our lives. We get one set. And I'm planning on living to be at least 100. So I need to take good care of my bones. All right, so today we've talked about macronutrients, protein, fat, and carbohydrates. We've talked about micronutrients, vitamins and minerals. We've talked about vitamins that are fat soluble and water soluble and what that means. And we've talked about how minerals come from rocks and ways that we can get those into our body. One thing you may have heard of that I didn't talk about today is called a calorie. A calorie is just a unit of energy. It's a way of measuring how much energy we get from our food. We have to get enough energy to fuel our bodies. Some people worry about how many calories they get, and it's not something worth worrying about. Instead, if people do a good job of eating lots of fruits and vegetables, and they don't have junk food in their house, they don't have cookies and candy and soda and juice and all those things that don't really help you, which some people call empty calories because they're just energy without any nutrition. What you want is to get the energy, the calories, mixed up with all that good stuff, with the vitamins and the minerals, the fiber, the protein, all those things that your body needs.